Señoras y señores, buenos días.
Ladies and
El fin de
gentlemen,
semana pasado, el mundo
good
de la
morning.
astrofísica estaba de celebración.
Last weekend, the
Y es que
astrophysics
se
world was
consiguió tomar
celebrating,
la primera
and that's
imagen de
because they
Sagitario
managed to
A,
take the very first
que es un
image
agujero negro
of
supermasivo
Sagittarius
que se
A,
encuentra en
a
el centro
massive
de la Vía
black
Láctea.
hole
Este
found
agujero
in the
negro
middle of the Milky
tiene
Way.
una masa equivalente a 4 millones de
That
estrellas
black
como el Sol
hole is
y se
equivalent
encuentra a unos
to
26.000 años luz de la Tierra.
400,000
Ya han visto
stars
ustedes la
like the
imagen y
sun and
seguro que se
located about
esperaban otra cosa.
26,000
Yo por
light
lo
years
menos lo
away
hacía.
from Earth.
Es una imagen borrosa,
Now, if
con
you've seen
poca
a picture of it,
definición y de la que
that's something I've
verdaderamente
tried
no
to
se pueden
do.
sacar muchas
It
conclusiones.
usually comes out
No
as a
recuerda
blurry
para
image
nada
with not
a
much
esas imágenes
definition.
impresionantes que nos ofrecía
Doesn't
el
look
telescopio
anything
Hubble.
like those
Para nada.
Hubble
Pero bueno,
photographs,
aunque pueda
the
parecer
impressive
un
ones.
hecho sin importancia para el
Now,
resto de los
even though
mortales,
it may
los
seem
astrofísicos
like
se
something not
encuentran
important for the
asombrados por
rest of
todo
the
esto,
mortal
ya que
world,
tomar una foto de un agujero
astrophysicists are
negro no
absolutely
es
amazed by
nada
this
fácil.
because
De hecho,
finding
la
or
primera
locating a black
imagen que
hole is
pudimos
not
observar
an
de
easy
uno
task.
se
In
generó
fact, the
en
first image that we
2019
were able to
y se
see of one
necesitaron
was
más de
only
200
achieved
investigadores
in
y 8
2019, and
observatorios
it required
espaciales
more than
repartidos
200
por todo el mundo.
researchers,
¿Pero por
8
qué 8?
space
Pues
observatories
vamos a
spread
explicarlo,
out
intentemos de manera simple.
throughout the world.
Si
And I'll
queremos
try to
observar
explain how they
objetos
did
que
this
se
in a simple
encuentren muy
way.
lejos de nuestro planeta,
If you want to photograph
necesitamos
something very
grandes
far away from our
telescopios. De
planet,
hecho, cuanto más grandes,
if we
mejor.
want to photograph
Y
objects,
estos
we need
observatorios
really
cuentan
large
con ellos.
telescopes. And
Pero
these
¿cómo podemos
observatories
captar
have those really large
un
telescopes.
objeto
But how could
del
we
cual la luz literalmente no
capture
puede
an
escapar
object
y que se encuentra
where the
además
light literally
lejísimos?
cannot
Pues
escape
necesitamos
from?
entonces un
And
telescopio
it's
gigante,
really far away.
un telescopio,
So we
digamos,
need
como el tamaño
a
de la
giant
Tierra,
telescope.
pero por
We need a
razones obvias
telescope
no
about
podemos
the size of
construir
the
un
Earth.
telescopio así.
But for
Por lo
obvious
que
reasons, we can't
usamos
do that.
observatorios
Build
que
a
se
telescope
encuentran
the
en
size of the Earth.
diferentes
So
puntos de
we
nuestro
use
planeta
telescopes
para
that
poder
are
obtener
geographically
imágenes
located at different spots
individuales
throughout the
y luego
planet, where
procesarlas
we're able
como
to
si
get
todos estos
images,
telescopios
and
formaran
then these
parte
are
de un
processed
todo,
as
formaran
if they
parte del
were
mismo.
part of a big or the
Es
one or
algo
a
así como lo
singular
que
image.
sucede como los
That's
megapíxeles
in
de una
essence,
cámara. Es decir,
or
cada
is the
píxel
crux
capta
of
una
what
cantidad
they
de luz
set out to
concreta
do. Another
y luego al
kind of like
procesar
a
el conjunto de
DSLR,
toda
a
esta
megapixel, where
información,
each
pues
pixel
podemos
captures
producir
a
una
certain
imagen.
amount of light, and then
Podrán
it
ustedes entonces
processes it
comprender
to
que
form the
esto no es
image.
moco de
So
pavo
it's
y
easy
que requiere además
to
un gran
understand,
trabajo. De ahí
or you're
la
able to
euforia de
understand that
todos
this is
los
no
científicos
small
que han
feat
participado
and
en este
requires a
proyecto.
great deal of work.
Pero bueno,
And
volviendo
you
a
could
los
therefore
agujeros
understand the
negros.
euphoria
¿Qué
of the
son?
researchers when they found
Seguramente
the black
tengan
hole.
quizá una vaga idea
In all
sobre lo que
likelihood,
suponen
you
y
have
crean
an
que son
idea,
aspiradoras que deambulan
vague
por el
notion
espacio ingiriendo
of
todo lo que se encuentran a su
the
paso.
things that circulate
Pero
within
no es tan así.
space, these
Antes de
black
su
holes
formación,
roaming
un
and kind
agujero
of
negro
ingesting
es
everything in their path.
una
But it's not
estrella
really
gigante
like that.
roja.
Black holes aren't
Y cuando el
necessarily like
combustible
that.
nuclear de
They're
este tipo de estrellas se
giant red
agota,
stars.
la estructura de la
When
estrella acaba
the
sucumbiendo
nuclear
a su propia
energy of
gravedad
these giant
y
red
toda la
stars
masa
eventually
acaba concentrada en
dries
un
up,
único punto
it succumbs
que
to
se
gravity.
denomina
This
singularidad.
is where the mass ends
Así
up
se crea un
concentrating
astro
into a
con
singular
una
point
masa y
called
una gravedad
singularity.
inmensa que
And this is
comienza
how a
a
star
atraer hacia él
of mass and
todo lo que se
gravity
le
is
acerque
formed
demasiado. Además,
and
es
starts to suck
importante
into it everything
también
that gets
saber que
too
hay
close to
diferentes
it.
tipos de agujeros
It's
negros.
also important
Por
to understand
ejemplo,
that there are
podemos
different kinds of
encontrar
black
los
holes. For
agujeros
example,
negros supermasivos que
we could
tienen
find the
varios
really
millones de
large
masas
black
solares.
holes
O también
that have
podemos encontrar los
several
agujeros negros de
million
masa
solar
media
masses.
o los
Or
mini
we can
agujeros
also
negros
find
que tendrían un
medium
periodo de
mass
vida muy
black
corto.
holes, or
¿Y qué
even
pasaría si, por ejemplo,
other ones that
cayéramos
have
dentro
very
de un
short
agujero negro?
lifespans.
Hay que mencionar
Now,
que
what
lo
would
que voy a
happen
explicar
if,
a
for example, we
continuación se
fell into a black
produciría de
hole?
manera teórica, ya
So
que
what I'm
de
going to talk about
momento
now
no
is
contamos
something
con
that could
pruebas
occur
empíricas
theoretically.
para
We
saber
don't necessarily
a
have
ciencia
real
cierta lo que
tests or
sucedería.
empirical knowledge
Pues bien,
to know with
la
certainty what will
respuesta
happen.
corta, nada bueno.
So the short answer
Si nos
is nothing
acercamos a
good
un
would
agujero negro,
necessarily
su
happen.
tirón
If we were to
gravitacional
approach a black
comenzaría a
hole, its
acercarnos
gravitational
hacia su
pull
interior.
would
Pero de momento
would force
podríamos
us pull us into its center. Now, we would be able to break free without a problem if we put our thrusters on our spaceship at full. However, once we reach that point of no return, the gravitational pull of the singularity would have caught up with us, and there would be nothing else to do but just wait to fall into the hole. Now, falling into a black hole, we would experience a gravity on our feet would be considerably greater than what we would feel at our heads. So you could say that it would begin to pull our body into the black hole, and our atoms in our body would start to create a sort of thread, or to put it simply, like a spaghettification of atoms of ourselves. Eventually, our entire mass would end up in the singularity and lights out. Now, let's say if somebody was observing us from the outside, being sucked into the black hole. If for us, falling into the black hole, if we feel that this has been a fast process, the person observing on the outside would observe something differently. They would think, sure, at the beginning, yeah, we got close to the black hole, but within time, we would start to stop and finally come to a standstill until entering the black hole, as if time had stood still. And this is because, according to Einstein's theory of relativity, gravity as high as that of a black hole moves considerably slower the closer we get to the singularity. Meanwhile, outside the hole, time continues its normal course. So, for the exterior observer, the black hole has never completely engulfed us. You may also be asking yourself, what happens with everything else that falls into a black hole? Where does it end up? Well, you wouldn't be the only one who's wondering that, to be honest. There are many scientists who think it, wonder it too, and some say that when one enters or something enters a singularity, it remains there forever. Others believe that black holes are actually portals to other part of the universe, almost like a bridge to jump to another galaxy, maybe even another dimension. Truth be told, there's nothing for sure. At present, researchers that have taken part in this exercise to capture the image of the black hole, the Sagittarius A, they're confirming that the Einstein's theory of relativity continues to hold true, and that it's interesting that what we find at the center of our galaxy is a black hole. It's been proven now. So according to the scientists, beyond what is the singularity point, and in this manner, how can we update our current knowledge of physics as we know it?